2 hours. But I hope we think that we can speed up and cover so much. I was hoping that we can cover so much. Okay, so let's quickly pick up from where we left off yesterday, and then we can pick up from there. So let me quickly share my screen. All right, let me quickly share my screen, and then we can go. Oh, my voice is going and coming. Okay, I'll try to project as loud as I can, so that it will be as audible as possible. All right. Thank you very much. If it's going down, just signal me so that I can up it up a bit. All right. And so yesterday, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Okay, so this is where we left off yesterday. Well, we're going to look at, as a cybersecurity auditor, or sorry, as an IT auditor, when you're doing SOX audit or compliance, or you are looking at SOX compliance, what are some of the things you have to be looking at? And so then in the controls, we have the IT general controls, and then we have the application controls. I think yesterday we did justice to application controls, and then we've spoken extensively about the IT general controls from last 2 weeks, from last week, and then even until yesterday. All right, and so we've spoken about the IT controls. That has to do with the access controls and all of that. And I believe that I asked if we had questions and we didn't have questions. All right. Unless we have questions from yesterday. But if not, let's get into what we have for today. So the IT general controls we're talking about, all right, we're testing the process and assessing an organizational access control, change management control, and IT operations control, all right? And so we are evaluating the system's internal control designs. And so like we spoke about, the design has to do, who can tell me what the design has to do? When I'm talking about IT control designs, what does it have to do with? Unless you were not in class yesterday, but I spoke extensively about designs. Bugs Bunny.
Those are the ones they will look at to implement.
They will look at.
To implement.
So what is the design?
Design is the layout to be layout of the controls to be implemented.
Yes, it's very nice, very simple. But now begin to use the terms. Talk like that. The layout is called what? Remember policy document?
Yeah.
Yes. So based on the framework.
Your voice is going again.
All right. So based on the framework, all right, then you design your policy and then you do the implementation from the policy. Is it okay? So you look at the design and then the operational effectiveness. And so after you have designed it by the policy, then the engineers have done the coding, they've done the deployment, you have tested it. Then you as the auditor, you have to ensure that the system is as operational as it should be, as you want it. All right. So that is what we're doing. We're looking at control design, and then we're looking at the operational effectiveness of the control. What are we testing? We are testing access control. Okay. Now look here critically. All right. Look here critically. IT general controls. All right. We are looking at access control. What is access control? Only authorized persons can have access to data. Tell me we have not discussed access control already. We have discussed access control, right?
Right.
Yes. And so you are going to test the control design, the access control design, like what we did in the assignment I gave you. All right. You are going to do the policy, and then we are going to do the control design on paper. And then when those who are the engineers take your document and implement it, all right, then you come and test the effectiveness, the operating effectiveness. All right. Then look at change management. Only appropriately authorized, tested, and approved changes are made to applications, database, and operations. We're speaking about change management, right? And then IT operations. IT operations. The data supporting financial information is properly backed up. We're speaking about backup. So such data can accurately and completely be recovered if there's system outage or data integrity issues. And so then data recovery systems, data loss prevention systems. We've spoken about all of these things before. All right. So scheduled programs are executed as planned, and deviations from scheduled processes are identified. And so then you are testing the IT controls or IT operations, how data is backed up, how disaster management is done, how disaster information recovery is done, data loss prevention. We are looking at how the CIA triad is met. You understand? How you generally do your IT operation. All right. And so you are going to test all of that. And so then today we are going to look at one very, very critical topic. One very critical topic that is necessary for our learning. Now, when we come to access control in SOX, all right, it is divided into two types, okay? The physical access control and the logical access control, all right? So what are the types of access control we have? Alex, what are the two types of access controls we have? Alex. Alex, can you hear me? Okay, Oswald, if you can hear me, what are the two types of access control I just mentioned? Okay. Okay, Chris, your mic is unmuted, so talk.
Physical access control and logical access control.
Physical access control and logical access control. And so, as an IT auditor doing cybersecurity, all right, when you are asked to audit access control, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, what type of access control are you auditing? You understand? Physical access or logical access? And so, we are going to look at how and audit. This is what our major lesson is going to be today. I pray ECG redeems me quickly, but if we don't finish, maybe we'll fix one of the days within the week to come back to it, or then Saturday. All right, so let's start with logical access control. Okay, so it is the processes that controls an individual's ability to interact with a computer system. Okay, just look at this picture here. All right, access granted. Okay, can we all see that? Access granted. Now you are watching a movie and somebody is trying to maybe a police officer is trying to access data, and he types his password, okay, and he gets access. All right, that is logical access control. And so let me find out from you, in your organizations where you work, in your system, you have to type in any password before you are able to access the system. Anybody can share experience? Anybody at all? Maybe in your computer system, you have to type in a password before you are given access to use or interact with the computer system. Or before you are even allowed to view anything, you have to maybe enter your username and user password or something like that. Anybody like that here? You have experienced that in your company? Yes, Chris.
Yeah, with us, we have the CRM and the ERP. Hello.
You have what?
A CRM system and the ERP system.
Okay. So walk us through how you interact with that.
Everybody has an account created on it with a personal login details. So without it, you can't access the platform, and the platform is also in levels. The management has a broader access to the whole system compared to the other subordinates. So you can't we manage most of the projects from the central system on the ERP. So without the login details, you can't access it. And everyone has a peculiar and unique login detail that has been given to them to access it from every location that they can. Yeah. I don't know if it's clear what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to share an experience in your workplace where you have to type in passwords before you have access to computer systems? Anybody at all?
Oh, okay. So mine deals with the health sector.
Okay.
So I was deal with DIMS 2. So
LIMS.
DIMS.
DIMS. Which one is that?
That's the District Health Information Management System.
Management system. Okay.
Yeah, that one is quite different from the LIMS.
Okay.
So with the DIMS, okay, start with those at the facility level.
Mm-hmm.
All the data you generate at the facility level, you keep it there. And then it depends on the level of access that you are granted.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are given, those at the facility level can only view the data that they generate as a facility.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the district level who will see the data that is generated by other facilities within the same district.
Mm-hmm.
Then it moves to the region. So the region will be able to view the entire data of the region. Then from there it goes to national. So the one who has access to the national will be able to see data across the entire nation,
Mm.
and then international too as well.
Yeah.
So that's how it
So
is.
walk us through your experience in logging into your system.
Okay, it requires a username and a password.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they are case sensitive. What use of this? What's the name?
Special characters.
Special characters, and then
Yeah.
So if
And
you
so
omit one, that's it.
yes. And so in configuring a cybersecurity system, okay, this is what we call the logical access control. Okay. And so this gives you access to the computing system. It regulates your access, okay, to the computer system. And so much as there is a physical access control where then you are restricted from where you can go and where you cannot go within the facility, the logical access control deals with where you can go and where you cannot go within the computer system. A lot of us are used to the physical access in the cybersecurity framework. But then the logical access control, if you are thinking about it from the logic of the physical access control, the way the physical access control is stopping you from entering, say, my brother from the health sector, let's have a conversation. Okay, which part of the health sector do you work in?
Okay, currently I work in a health center, and then I also run a chips compound too as well.
Okay.
So I alternate.
Okay. So are you a nurse or administrator?
Yes, I'm a nurse.
Yeah, nurse. Okay, so then in the health center where you work, all right, the health center where you work,
Come again.
I'm saying that in the health center where you work,
Yes,
can
sir.
you just enter the pharmacy?
Oh no, please, you can't just enter the pharmacy. There are people who work there, so in in case you need anything, you go through them.
Yes. And
You
so
can't go through them.
because you don't have any business doing in a pharmacy, physically you are
Exactly.
restricted from going into the pharmacy, right?
Yes, sir.
That is the
Yes, sir.
physical access control. Now I'm saying that the logical access control in cybersecurity is the fact that in the computer system, you are locked out from going into certain places where you shouldn't go. Now, if you want to get into certain places where you are not supposed to go, then you go through what we call the change management process. I think we spoke about change management, right? Where you request for access, you write. I think when we are done, I'll show you a change management request form or some access request form and all of that. So logical access control focus on security around computer software restricting financial data, all right? Because we are looking at SOX, we are talking about financial data. If we are talking about HIPAA, it will be health data. Do you get it? Are we fine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are fine.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any question up to this point? Or it's clear, it's understandable?
So far, so good, sir.
Okay. So when it comes to logical access control, what is your role as an IT auditor? Okay. Your role as an IT auditor is to do the following. Is to check, number one, whether the user access is authorized and appropriately established. So the way the nurse is saying, okay, the nurse is saying that he doesn't have access. You have to check whether user access is authorized and appropriately established. So then, what are the authorization for nurses? Even for nurses, there are levels. And so based on your level, you have a certain authorization. Doctors have a certain authorization. So you have to make sure that those authorizations are properly established. They are clear and they are distinct. They are obvious. All right. And then you have to be able to check the separation of incompatible duties with logical access environment. Incompatible duties. Is a doctor doing a nurse's job? Is a nurse doing a doctor's job? So within that framework, within that logical access environment, make sure that, all right, make sure that that is established completely. All right. And then the logical access process is monitored. So you have to check who is monitoring the process itself. All right. So you become a supervisor to the supervisor. You are monitoring the monitor. You understand? And so what your job is to ensure that you are ensuring that the process is being monitored. Okay. And then the general system security setup is appropriate for what is appropriate. It is appropriate in regard to the framework it is compliant to and the framework, the policy. All right. So you are checking if the security settings that has been done by the engineers. Remember yesterday I said that you are writing the policy, but you are not doing the engineering. So you are writing the policy, you are writing the policy, you are writing the controls. All right. That is the design. And then the engineers and the systems administrators will do the writing of the code or the setting up of the security. Then yours is to come and check, to check if the system is appropriate according to how it is supposed to be. Isn't it simple enough? This will be your job. All right, to come and check if the system is appropriate. Okay, and so that fundamentally is your job as an IT auditor or a cybersecurity auditor in that field. Is it clear? Okay. So when we talk about logical access control, what is your role as a or IT auditor? Yes, sir.
It is. I think your network is somehow, the mic
The mic keeps going on and off. Eh?
Yes, please.
Okay. Just alert me, and then I would raise my voice a little. I'm having a problem with my microphone, and so I'm picking it the sound straight from the system. That's why it's doing that. So when it's going down, just alert me. I just have to go and either fix it or buy a new mic. So what is your role as an IT auditor? So this is the practical role of an IT auditor when we talk about SOX compliance. Okay. Now let's look at this before we even come into the auditing proper. Let's look at this side of the sheet. Okay. Now this is too big. Okay. Access control policies. Look at this carefully. The available policy tell the auditor how to carry out his duties and make information decisions. Remember, we spoke about policies. So yours is to look at the framework and draft a policy for the organization you are working with. Okay, so the policies define the rules and procedures for managing logical access. So you are not going to do anything strange. What the policy says you should do, all right? The engineers have done it. Yours is to come and check if what the engineers have done matches with what the policy says should be done. Do you understand? These policies ensure that access control mechanisms align with organizational security requirements and compliance standards. So then the policy looks at the law, and then you frame the policy within the framework of the law. And then your job is to come and audit to see if the right thing has been done. Now let's look at this carefully now. What are the roles then of an IT auditor in SOX compliance? The first one is authentication. Okay, authentication. So you are going to test password settings and configurations. You are going to look at password settings and configurations. Okay. So what we are going to do is that we are going to determine and obtain evidence of an organization's settings for the following security controls. All right. So the minimum password length. The minimum password length. So let's say that the law says that, let's just say that probably the law says that your minimum password should be 8 characters. Okay. Now yours is to check that in the configuration of the security, all right, in the configuration of the security, did the engineers ensure that the minimum password that is required is actually what is there? Do you get it? So if they say that minimum password required for this system is 8 characters, okay, minimum password length is 8 characters, and then the engineers are coding and they do it 7 characters, will it pass the audit or it will fail the audit? Someone should tell me.
Fail.
It will fail. Why will it fail?
The engineer didn't comply with the...
It is not compliant. Beautiful. And so your job is to just come and check, okay, I want to create an account on this system. I have typed in my username, password, I've typed in 7 characters, am I still going to get access to create that account, or the system will flag it? All right. If the system flags it, it means that, okay, 7 characters didn't work. Then you check for 8 characters. If it works, it has passed the audit. True or false? And so this is one of the works of an IT auditor. Okay. So then, initial log on, use a one-time password. So the first time you are logging or creating an account, okay, the first time, okay, you are creating an account, the system should send you an OTP. Okay, the system should send you an OTP. So then what happens is that you have to then test it. Okay, let me create a new account on the system, a new employee account on the system. And then let me check if the system will send me an OTP. So if the system sends you an OTP, okay, it has passed the test, right? If it does not send you an OTP, it has failed the test. Okay, so your job as an IT auditor is to come back and test, authenticate what the engineers and the system administrators have done. All right, so you have checked for password length. And then initial logon uses a one-time password. And so then the system is supposed to send you an OTP. You have logged on for the first time. Did the system send you an OTP? Yes, no, whichever it is, then you write it down. You take evidence of it, write it down, and it forms a part of your report. All right? Is it understood? Understood.
Yes, sir.
Then all right, password composition. Password composition. Example, alphanumeric characters, not words in the dictionary. It's supposed to be in the dictionary. All right. So the system is saying that allow passwords that have alphanumeric characters. It is doing.
Also, please, you're going to adjust again.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Is it clear?
It is clear now, please.
Okay. So you are talking about password. The first one, you are testing password length, the length of the password. Now you are talking about the composition of the password. You are saying it should have alphanumeric characters. You should have letters. You should have numbers, capital letters, small letters, and all of that. This is where you are going to. This is where you are going to test if it actually works. So then you are creating a new account, and then the system says, or the policy says that you should use uppercase, lowercase, numbers, special character. All right. And then you are doing it, and then you use only, you are doing, and you use only small letters, and it gives you access. It has failed the audit. You understand? Maybe you use only numbers, and it gave you access. You have failed the audit. All right. And so it deals with the composition of the password setting. And so you look at the framework, then you develop your policy and the control. And then whoever is in charge of the engineering will do the engineering. And then you come and test it and see that, okay, in the policy, it says that I have to use uppercase and lowercase together. I've used only lowercase. Will the system grant me access or not? If it grants you access, it has failed the test. If it does not grant you access, it means it has passed the test. This is authenticating the password configuration, or you are testing the password settings configurations that was done by the engineering team. So far, is it understandable? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The frequency of forced password changes. Forced password changes. All right. Have you ever tried to access your account and they tell you that you have used this password on another system, so change your password? Have you had that experience before?
Yes.
So the system forces you to change your password for your own security. All right. Or your password has been used for too long. Please change your password. Have you received that message before? And so you can set a policy and say that, okay, for every individual or for every account, all right, force the person to change their password after every 3 months. All right. And so then the system will force you to change your password after every 3 months. And so in your auditing, you can check, you can create an account and monitor how often the system prompts you. You understand? So in your performing of the audit rule, you check, maybe you can set it up to maybe 2 weeks. And then in your audit rule, you let the engineering configure it to 2 weeks. And then you set your account, and then you wait maybe 1 week or 2 weeks and check if indeed after that time, the system will force you to change your password. All right. Then you will be checking the ability of users to assign their own passwords. So then, is it a generated password, or it is the users that will generate their own passwords? You have to check for that, dependent on what is written in the policy document, based on the framework you are compliant to. Okay. Then the number of unsuccessful logon attempts before logout. So you are trying to log in, and then you make a mistake with your password. Okay. How many times should the system allow you to make a mistake before it completely logs you out for proper authentication? All of that is in the policy. So then you create your account when you are doing your auditing, and then you intentionally, so maybe the policy says 3 times. All right. So you create your account as an auditor. You enter the password wrong first time. You enter the password wrong the second time. You enter the password wrongly the third time. Maybe the policy says 3 times. Once you do the third time, the system is supposed to react in a certain way. Maybe log you out or send you an email that there's been an unsuccessful login attempt on your account or something. Once that configuration is done, your job is to test. And so you actually type in your password wrongly 3 times to see how the system will react. And so based on the reaction of the system, you write a report on it. And that is your job as an auditor. Is it clear? The number of passwords that must be used prior to using a password again. So sometimes you change your password and the system will tell you, you have used this password before, you cannot use it again. Have you experienced that before? Where the system tells you that, oh, you have used this password before, so you cannot use it again. Who has experienced that before? Maybe you are changing your Facebook password or you are changing your Google account password or something. And then you type in a password you have used before and it tells you, oh, you have used it before. Sometimes it is set that for you to be able to use that particular password, you must change password cycles maybe 3 or 4 times before you can come back and use that password again. And so then you can do your auditing based on the fact that you change your password maybe once and you come back and use it and see how the system will react to that. And so your own is to validate or authenticate whether what is in the policy is actually what is being done in the system setup. Is that clear?
You are not being heard.
I am not being heard.
Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, if you can go over.
Okay, so I was saying how frequently the password, all right, must be used before it can be used again, or how many password cycles you should go through, password change cycles you should go through before the system can allow you to use the password you have used previously to use it again. Do you understand? So maybe you have used your password 1234 and you have changed password to 5678. And then you want to change password and come back to the 1234. All right. How many passwords should you be able to change before the system allows you to use a password you have already used before? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And so, like I'm saying, for instance, you want to change your Facebook password or you want to change your Google account password. And you type in the password and it tells you that, oh, you have used this password before, so you cannot use it again. Have you experienced that before?
It's not the same. What happened to mine was, I think I was great. I've forgotten the login credentials. So I was trying to create a different account. but it said the password has already been used or something like that.
Is it the
Not
email address
necessarily
has already
changing the
been
password, but a different account.
used? And so all of these security features, all right, are configured to ensure that the right person has access to the account. Okay. And look at this one too. The idle session or timeout. Okay, so maybe you are on the site and for 2, 3, 5, maybe 5, 10 minutes, there has not been any activity from you on that platform. The system is configured to shut you out after maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes of inactivity, simply because probably the system is programmed to think that if you have not been active for maybe 10 minutes, it means that you have left your desk. So somebody else who may not have the access to view may have the ability to view your inactive laptop or desktop interface. And so after maybe a period of inactivity, the system will log you out and tell you, log yourself back in. Have you faced that before? Anybody who has faced that before?
The Momo app.
The Momo app, how does that work? I don't use Momo app. How does that work?
Even if the phone screen goes off, you have to log yourself in again.
Yes.
That one is so
Annoying,
something.
Yeah, that is it.
Bibi kutu bi ana ekọ na ajo sambo no foforo.
So that then you have to look. I don't know if you read the terms and the conditions of the app before you accepted it, but I'm sure that all of these things are clearly spelled out in the terms of the app. But almost all of us, when we download an app, and then we have to accept terms and conditions. Let's be true to ourselves. How many of us really read the terms and conditions? Who
I
has
only
read?
read the first page.
You need some.
You do, eh? Only you quickly scroll and you go to accept, right?
Exactly.
Because open
In the app.
We accept without knowing the content of the thing.
Yeah. And so I'm praying that as now you are getting into cybersecurity and you will now be developing and you know the kind of things you have placed in the policy. As you are now going to use somebody's app, you should also now begin to be curious about the kind of things they have put in their policy. You understand?
Yeah.
And
Apostle,
so,
I have a question. Why is it that whatever they put in the terms and conditions, mostly, I believe that mostly, if we have other options, like to pick some out, we will definitely pick some out, but we don't have that option.
okay, I think I get you. So you want the providers to give you selections as to which side to choose and which side not to accept.
Yes, just of late, some website that use cookies, some of them they will give you options.
Yes.
Maybe they'll limit to this, yeah. So these terms and conditions have about 70 pages and 2,000 words. And they give us some options. Why is that the developers and you the writers like this, you put us in that corner?
Yeah.
If
So
you read or you don't read, we don't have options. Me, that's why I don't read.
Yes. Yes. I think that is also a disincentive. But then sometimes This is what I may recommend, okay? Maybe if you read it and you find something untoward in the policy, you can send an email to the company and register your displeasure. All right. So this is what I do. Maybe the policy is too long for me. I just copy it. And you know where I take it to?
AI to summary or voice to read for you.
So I go to chat. All right. This is a policy. Summarize it and look out for the key security features in the policy. When I'm done with security, look at privacy. When I'm done with privacy, we look at indemnity clauses. You understand? So that maybe you may not have the time to take your time and read, but then you can get AI to summarize each part you are interested in in 1 line or 2 lines for you. So that at least you have a fair idea of what you are getting yourself into. But to wholesalely accept it without understanding it and the liabilities that accrue to you in the usage of that app, please repent from today. Amen and amen.
Apostle Ebeire.
Very wrong. But then,
anytime we want to do, we want to download an app, we are just keen to use whatever we wanted to download it for.
yes.
So now yeah, shebo. Maybe I mean shebo. Ebeire. Mean shebo.
I like the honesty though, but try it. Just try. Maybe try one. Maybe okay. So go and just generally just go pick an app you are not really in need of. Okay. For your experiment or for your own knowledge, just pick an app you are not in need of. Try it just to understand their terms and conditions, their policies on privacy, on security, just for your knowledge. There are some of them I just do it for my knowledge. You understand?
Yes, sir, this one I will try.
And then the single signing on, okay? Let me try and not be technical and use, so it allows users to log in once and gain access to multiple systems without being prompted to log in again at each time. So for instance, you are logging into one account, then they ask you, log in with your Google account, right? So it just transfers your credentials from Google without you having to sign in again. So just by being signed into Google, you have access to all the platforms your identity is on. But then it also means that if one platform is compromised security-wise, the other ones are at risk. You get? Yeah. So let's assume that you logged into Facebook with your Google account. Okay. And then your Facebook account is compromised. It means that your Google account is compromised, right? And every other account that is connected to that Google account. Do we understand it so far?
Yes.
Okay. Any question? So this is your job as an IT auditor. You have to test or authenticate all these configurations and make sure that just as the policy says it, that is what has been done. All right. And then number 2, after you have done with number 1 is test the password settings. Number 2 is test the user authentication. So test for user access authentication. Okay. So the first test is that you have to determine that employees are only granted access to data that is appropriately based on their job and function. And so you are going to test the system to ensure that access control as it is on paper is what it is in the system that has been configured. And so if you are saying that nurses
Apostle,
yes,
seems the mic is doing like the olden days GBC. When you tune in, it comes on and off, goes, comes, goes, comes.
it goes and comes. Like I said, unfortunately, my children have destroyed my microphone.
How?
Yes, and so I am speaking without a microphone. And so I'm actually shouting very much.
Okay.
Yes, and so it means that I have to go and fix it or buy a new one. And so please permit me, and then within the week I'll sort that for you. All right.
All right.
So when it goes down, please alert me so that I can scream.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we are talking about is the fact that employees are supposed to have access to information that is required to do their work. And we call that the needs to know, right? Or the least privileged, based on where you are working and the access you have. Remember that. Okay. So we test new users by requesting for completed access request forms. Okay, so let me see if I can get you an access request form. Okay, so this is a sample of an access request form so that I don't know if I can pull it up quickly. All right, can you see it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an access request form. Okay. So when a new user is brought onto the system, okay, you have to fill this form to request for access to the kind of information that is needed to do your job. So look at this carefully, access request form. Okay, so the environment, the role group. So the role or group, if it is a nurse, then you write your nurse or the nursing level or grade or position. You understand? It is, so number 1 is the identified access and level of access required for this employee to carry out the job, duties, and functions. Yes. Have you made reasonable efforts to limit access to what is needed? Yes. Okay, reason for access request. Then you write your reasons and all of that. Then the supervisor approves. Okay, so then a person signs and then approves. So then when you are requesting for your ticket, access ticket, you attach this form. All right, you attach this form to your access request ticket that you have requested for access and you have been duly granted access. So then they should grant you the access. You understand? Let's go back to this.
Yes, sir.
So, yes, you have a question? you have a question? I should move on.
Oh, yes, sir. It's understood. I was saying it's understood.
Okay. So how do we
Uh,
test the new users? Okay. The first thing is that you have to request for an access request form. So this is it. A new user has been brought in. You are auditing the system, and you realize that from the time of the last audit till now, some new users have been brought in and they have access to certain information. Now, to check whether they have authorization for their access, you have to request for what? Their access request form. So remember, I told you that documentation is very necessary in cybersecurity. So if you have filled your access request form, submitted it, and it is missing, it only means that you didn't fill it. True or false?
You go
Yes.
explain that. True.
You go explain, no evidence. Right. And so that is why you also have to back up and have a backup for your backup. So that anytime the information is needed, the information is what?
Available.
Yes. So the first thing you have to do is to request for what? The completed access request form. So the access request form you filled, okay, your supervisor is supposed to have it. The systems administrator is supposed to have it. You're also supposed to have it. So that in case of anything, you pull it out and you defend the access you have to that system. So when it is inspected and then the access request form, to make sure that all stakeholders completed and signed the access request form before access was granted. If we find an uncompleted form, then it is a finding or an exception. Now we have gotten to audit proper. So now let's begin to use audit terms. Okay. In audit, we don't say you have failed the audit. Please. I used to be saying fail because we are not gotten to the place where we begin to use terms. When there is a failure in audit, you label it as a finding or exception. So you say exception noted or exception found. When you say exception noted or exception found, it only means that there's a failure in the audit. Please, do you understand?
Yes.
So as we go along, we'll be picking up the language of the system. All right. My battery is going low. Okay. I still have some time. And so if you are saying that, okay, Alex has access to top management level information. Now, the last time I did an audit, Alex didn't have that level of access. Okay. So, Alex, systems administrator, you are in charge of the system. Produce the access request form that gave Alex that authorization to access this level of information. So then the systems administrator, okay, or what term should I use? If you are not certain of the position of the person, the term we normally use is the subject matter expert. Okay, subject matter expert. And so whether it is a systems administrator or the developer or the engineer you are going to meet, the general title for the person is what? Subject matter expert. Are we understanding the terms now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are talking to the subject matter expert. Alex has access to top level management. Now, the last time we did an audit, Alex didn't have that level of access. Produce evidence of Alex's access request form. Then a subject matter expert will produce the form. It means he has passed the audit, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So in your report, you state no exception found or no findings. It means it has passed the test. No exceptions found. It means that it didn't fail. It has passed. So in audit, you will not write in your report, you will not write the system has passed the audit. No exceptions found. So now if you want to tell me that I have passed my audit, what will you say?
No findings.
No findings or
No exceptions found.
no exceptions found. Anywhere you see it, it means that it means instead of writing pass, this is the cybersecurity audit English we use. No exception found or no findings. Are we okay? Now, the next level of access control you have to check is the terminated users. Okay, the terminated users.
Apostle, you are off.
Apostle, I think you are off.
He said his laptop is gone off.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm trying to see if I can access the. I'm trying to see if I can access the notes. Okay, from my email, and then we can proceed. And then I'll share my screen for my phone. Maybe we'll finish with the access control, and then we'll close for the day. All right. So give me a second. Let me. Please give me a second. All right. Who has host authority? Once I left the platform, someone was made the host. Who is that? Bugs Bunny.
Bugs
Yes,
Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs
Yes,
Bunny.
sir.
So you are the host now, so allow me to share my screen.
How do I go about it? I'm not familiar with this stuff.
Oh la la. So check the settings and then check sharing or something. You should be able to allow permission or just transfer the host or make me a co-host or something.
Can someone guide me through?
Then I think Chama should log off and come back again.
Who?
I think at the we have several columns there. There is one that indicates share, so you can use the share option.
Yeah, I've seen the share. Should I share?
No, so
Yes, please.
share, you should allow participants to share screen.
Yeah.
Right.
Still looking. Presenters layouts, content only as background, whatever. And then here, I've seen screen and application window, post, attendee, Zoom, WhatsApp, Facebook. This is all I can see here.
Okay, then
So should I
check. There should be more or settings depending on the interface you have. Okay, and then you should allow participants to share screen.
Okay, so I'm still looking. A minute.
Because if he logs out, the host right will turn to someone else. Right, and so it will be the same thing. Oh la la. Okay, you are sharing your screen, eh?
I want someone to guide me through. I'm sharing my screen.
Using the app or you are using from the web?
App.
The app. So open your interface, the app interface. This is a web interface. So open the app interface.
This one is a web one.
Yeah, so yes. Click no, the other one. Yes. So minimize the web interface. Minimize this. I better close your WhatsApp. Unauthorized access. So now open the app interface and let's see. It's supposed to oh la la. Click on that. It's supposed to give you click on the app interface. It's supposed to expand for you. Oh la la.
Can't I maybe log out and then it will be transferred to someone who is probably familiar?
Okay, so Bugs Bunny, you log out and come back and let's see something.
All right.
Log out of the meet, leave the meeting and come back. Don't end the meeting, just leave. Because once you are host now, you have the right to end the meeting. Oh.
So you should go back to the web, go to your WhatsApp, and you click on the link, and after going into it, then you leave.
Bugs Bunny. So first, stop sharing your screen and then leave the call. So now leave the call. He has left, eh? So now who is admin? Chris. Oh la la. Bugs Bunny has come back for his host position. Oh God. All right, let's you know what? Let's close. Let's just end it because it looks like his interface. Okay, share your screen again. Let me see something. Bugs Bunny, share your screen again. Let me see something. So once again, okay, click on the Zoom app. Let me see something. Click on the Zoom app on your taskbar. Okay. So the second one, this is the second one where it is written the screen sharing mode controls. It is supposed to expand into the whole big screen if you click on that. Is that not so?
It's just showing the taskbar at the top. Let me see whether I did it myself or this is embarrassing.
Oh, no problem. Chairman, we are all learning. You understand? I wish I could. Because I'm using the phone, I can't zoom in to see a lot that is written on the screen. But then, yeah, you could. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in more. Okay, on that screen, all right, there should be some more there. Go to the extreme right.
We have record, breakout rooms, post, start, focus, spotlight this, share, disable annotation, hide names, hide video panel, hide floating meeting controls, share computer sounds, and then optimize for video sharing. These are all I have.
So on the share, okay, there should be an arrow there, right?
Yes.
Yes, click on that. Let me see something. No, on the green one at the top. Yes, click on the arrow. Let me see something. There's nothing.
Multiple participants can share simultaneously.
Okay, so for now, just select that one.
Okay,
for now,
I just did.
You just did. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. Yes, allowing me to share screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I.
All right.
Yeah.
So we were on the terminated users, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
We can. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so all right, that's fine. So now the terminated users are those who have, all right, employees that have been sacked from the company or employees whose assets have been revoked or employees whose assets have been reduced. You understand me? So maybe you were on a certain level and you have been sacked or you have been demoted, all right, it means that the level of access you have on the system should also reduce. True or false? Now let's assume, okay, you are Microsoft, and then you sack one of your employees, and you don't terminate the employee's access, and the employee goes to work with Apple. Do you get this example I'm giving?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What do you think will happen?
I think there's going to be a transfer of information.
Yes, because he still has access to your information, especially if the person was or the person left the job not under too good circumstances. Yeah. And with the person is bitter, the person is pained, and wasaki nipa no, you forgot to terminate his access. He has all your information. He can do, and he still has access into your computer system. He can inject a malware. He can inject a spyware. He can do anything to your system. And so when anybody is leaving the company, all right, you have to terminate the person from the system. Okay, so you have to determine that terminated employees, okay, have been removed timely from the system to prevent unauthorized access to data. All right. So for terminated users, we request a list of all active users for the system for the current fiscal year. We also obtain a list of all terminated users for the system for the fiscal year. Then we compare to the list of terminated users to the active user list to make sure that no terminated user in the active user list. And so you go for the active user list, okay, from whoever is in charge, maybe the HR or systems administrator, whoever is the subject matter expert on that. You go for the terminated user list, and then you go for the active user list, and then you compare and make sure that there's nobody on the terminated user list who is still on the active user list. If there is a terminated user in the active user list, then that is a finding or an exception. So you have sacked the person, you have written that, oh, this person has been sacked. But then when we take the active users on the list of active users on the computer system, the person who has been sacked is still an active user on the system. That is a finding, or that is an exception. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are okay, but I have just a quick question.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
So let's say you have an employee base of, let's say, 3,000 employees,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to cross-check those who have been terminated with the active users. Like, also, how would you go about that one?
Yes, and so there are GRC automated tools that you can use to do the cross check. Okay,
And that's fine.
that's fine. But what I'm teaching you now is to how to understand the system and how to do the job. What should actually be done? If you get to an organization, some can be using Archer, some can be using Audit Now, just yesterday, let me blow my horn. So, was it yesterday? I got a proposal to develop my own GRC and audit tools. Okay, that was just yesterday. And so we are going to begin research into how to develop our own GRC and audit tools so that instead of paying for licensing fees to other companies, we will have our own softwares that can do those automations for us. So that's a conversation that was brought on my laps yesterday. We are beginning to consider. And so there are automation tools. There's the Swiss GRC tools. There's a lot of tools you can use based on the organization and the company. All these tools are very expensive to use. All right. And so based on the company you are working for, they will train you. All right. They will train you as to how to use their tool you are using. They'll give you orientation as to how. So then, for instance, maybe their assumption is that if they are using audit now, okay, and then you are coming from a background of, sorry for that, you are coming from a background of uh, another a different audit tool. They will first train you as to able how to be able to use their audit tool for the processes. What we are doing here is to first of all be able to explain to you what the process is so you can make it out. Is it clear?
It's clear, sir.
Okay. So then don't worry. You will not be doing, especially in this era of AI and automation, you will not be doing a lot of manual works. Okay. You'll be doing most of the things will be facilitated by tools. But before you use the tool, you must understand the system. Then you understand the tool, then you can do it. Are we fine? And then the final one, okay, test transferred users. Test transferred users. Again, let me refer to our health professional I used in the beginning. I still on the call. I can't access a lot of data because I'm using the phone. The health professional I used in the beginning, are you still on the call?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's assume, if you don't mind disclosing, which health center do you work in?
Salaga.
Salaga. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you have access to the Salaga health system, right? Information based on where you work and the information accessible to you. Okay. I don't know the area too much, but let's just say you are transferred from Salaga to Wale Wale. Okay. Now, what they have to now do is that, or to for the want of, so once they transfer you from one hospital to the other, they have to make sure that they effect the changes that has been done on the system so that instead of having access to Salaga information, you have information now to Wale Wale you have access now to Wale Wale information so that you don't stay in your new transferred position, have access to that one and still have access to the old system or the old information you used to have, which you do not need now. Do you understand it?
It's well understood, sir.
Okay.
Actually,
So
what you just said, it popped up at a workshop the last time.
okay.
There was one health information officer who was with East Gonja, and then
Okay.
he was transferred to North Gonja. But then the access control, he wasn't. He was granted. It's like maybe it was an oversight, but then they didn't restrict him from having access to East Gonja. When he went there, they granted him access to North Gonja. So he was having both East Gonja and then North Gonja access. So people from National came, and then it's like they used this account, and then they saw they saw two accounts.
Mm.
So they started questioning, and then well, we were at the lower level, so we left it to them to go and sort it out themselves.
Mm-hmm. So at this particular point, okay, whoever is in charge of the district information security system should be penalized, or the systems administrator in that level will be penalized. So auditors came and they realized that the transfer user access has not been changed, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so this is how it relates to us. So in these things we are learning, it is not abstract things. These are things you will be doing on the job. And
Apostle,
so, yes, sir.
I just wanted to do a small relation. I hope we can relate it to perhaps a teacher who is transferred from one institution to the other and who maybe is not logged out or is not removed from maybe the previous school's WhatsApp pages and then all that. And in the new school is added to their WhatsApp school. And so it becomes like he's still in the previous school, knowing all what is ongoing and still in, whilst he's in his new school and doing all he can be doing also there.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So the job, the essence of this is that you are supposed to have access to only information that is relevant to the work you are doing. Do you understand? Now, if you have been transferred from one school to the other, do you still need information about your former school?
Yes, sir. For concern matters.
For concern. But is the concern relevant to your job?
It depends on the concern that comes up.
And so that then is the issue we are talking about. Are we clear? And so we restrict access based on the information you need to know that is relevant to your job. I hope this is clear enough.
Yes, please.
Yes.
But I
So
want to
if you
find
are an
out.
IT auditor, so then you have to now take the list of the teachers that are on that platform and the teachers that have been transferred or terminated, and then you cross check. This one has been transferred. Why is he still on the WhatsApp platform? Do you get it? This one has been sacked.
Yeah.
Why is he on the WhatsApp platform? That is fundamental access control auditing.
Okay.
Do you
So
understand
I
it?
would want to find out in case, yes, please, in case the IT auditor or whoever is responsible has not done that, and perhaps there is an information that is being assessed by this person, who we will say should have not been able to assess that. In that case, who is held responsible? Is it the person or the person who was to have regulated all that was ongoing, or to have denied the person access, and who didn't do that?
It is the responsibility of the person
who was supposed to do the removing
Okay.
or supposed to deny the access. Okay.
Okay.
But
I'm
then
asking that in relation to what our gentleman earlier on was saying, looking at given the example you gave that one of his colleagues who moved from Gonja, not Gonja, say he's Gonja, moved to the other, and later it was found out. Because sometimes when it happens, like we see the person more as the person who has caused it. Maybe the person who should have really done the work and has not done that will be somewhere, and the person will be left ajar. I don't know if you get what I mean.
I get what. So then you, the user, you don't have access to terminate your own self. Do you understand?
Okay.
It is the system administrator or the subject matter expert, the owner of the system, who is supposed to terminate your account. Do you get it?
All right.
So you, the auditor, your job is to make sure that the person who is supposed to do it has done it.
All right.
But then when it comes to liability, it is on the person whose job has not been done. Are we okay? Is it clear?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And so today we have looked at this, I think with the access control auditing, we can close for today, right? And then we can pick it up again on Saturday and continue. I hope you have enjoyed the class today.
Very well, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
Yes,
please,
question.
I think Apostle, as the last Apostle.
Yeah, me too.
Apostle, but as the last week recording now. As the last week recording number.
Last week, make I say me yare into my voice and into my record.
But as a last week recording number.
Last week I mentioned that because I was sick, my voice was not good for recording. So I combined last week and yesterday's own into yesterday's class, and so it will come back like I've been doing. It will come by Monday morning. Okay. Okay. So the recording will be available on Monday morning. The only issue is that this last part I did on my phone was not part of the recording. So I'll look for a way to infuse it in. All right. I just need, but at least once we have the knowledge now, we can make justice to it anytime. If I tell you, any other question? Any other question? Okay, me pacho school fees. School fees. Me can say you try na you be by 20th. One tia. Pacho mutu am school fees. And then 23rd. Hard journey pan because we need to facilitate some things. And truth be told, these are what we rely on to facilitate those things for the running of the firm and the school. I cannot tell you everything we are doing, but I have done a lot of bootstrapping, and some of these things are necessary to spare us on. So 500, 600, push it through. Let's use it to run what we have to run.
I'll beg you to try and do it tomorrow, Tuesday. It will do a lot of good for us. Thank you very much. Amen. I hope I've spoken well.
Yes, very well.
Okay. Let's have a wonderful night and God bless you all. So the person who has to end the meeting is Bugs Bunny. So Bugs Bunny, please end the meeting for us.
Okay.
And then the owner meeting owner.
Class captain.
Hosting lecture. Hosting lecture.